This is crazy. This is crazy. So this guy said he murdered an old man named Warren Brown. He murdered him. Well, first off, the mom said she found a severed head in her son's room. And so the police questioned him and was like, he questioned why would he murder this man, and he was like, I don't know. I always felt like I always wondered why what murder would be like. And I'm like, wow, that's the only reason you killed this man. But this man, they say he had a room, and I guess he bought a room or something like that. But he stayed in this room. He would come out, just a helpless, man coming out, feeding birds, reading books, just a regular old man out and about. And it's crazy because it's just like, wow, what would make you want to kill somebody just because you always wonder what it would be like to kill somebody? And that's how you know the world is not safe. Even as a homeless person, you're not safe, because at any moment, a person like this who is kind of chaotic in the mind, a man like this that obviously got possessed in a way, because I was just watching this video of this guy, and he was talking about how don't allow the mind to sit on running or wondering, because that's access for the devil. And it just made sense in this moment, because now I'm looking at this news feed talking about the mom who finds out her 18-year-old son, I think 18 or 19-year-old son, killed a homeless, helpless person. I don't know if he was homeless. They say he was staying in a room, but I don't know. He was an old man though. So, like, you killed this guy for what? Why did you kill this guy? Just because you allowed the devil to slip into your mind and possess you to do such a thing, to want to feel how it feels to murder a person. Like, what? I feel like this is what comes from watching too many movies. When you watch too many movies, you get too many ideas, And that right there alone is the devil's playground as well. If you want to be real, these movies and stuff, influencing people like this guy, this young person, to do such a thing. And this is real life. Like, this happened, 8 days ago? 7 days ago? Like, what? Wow. So, yeah.
How old is Brian? He's 19. He's 19.
What's going on, man?
No, he doesn't associate with
Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Like, for real human head and hands?
Yes.
From?
That fellow who went missing recently.
Which fellow was that?
Warren Brown.
Warren Brown? When did he go missing?
The night of the 27th.
The night of the 27th? Okay, and how did you end up with him?
I murdered him.
With what?
A knife.
Why would you have done that?
I've always wondered what murder felt like.
2021, Grand Junction, Colorado. It's the first day of March, and Warren Barnes, a 69-year-old man known to hang outside of Monique's Bridal and Formal Wear on Main Street in downtown Grand Junction, hasn't been seen since Saturday, February 27th.
If you've ever been downtown, you guys would see him. He walks Main Street. He's always on Main Street, just with his backpack, just walking and coming down to the shop to sit in his chair, pretty much.
How do you know Warren?
I own Monique's Bridal downtown, and I give him a chair to sit and read his books. And
homeless gentleman?
He's not homeless. He stays in a place. He pays for a room every day. He comes back in the shop because we keep his chair inside the shop to deter other people from sitting in it behind my shop.
The woman speaking with police is Monique Lenati. Her business has been mainstay in downtown Grand Junction since 1995. Monique and her daughter spent time getting to know Warren over the 4 years, he's been a fixture behind her shop. He loves reading, feeding birds, and eating Subway sandwiches. To outsiders, he may have appeared unhoused or out of work, simply because he wore the same clothes every day. But Warren is different.
He works for a company that does just like temp agency, and they were the ones that actually contacted me because he's never missed work, and they know that he sits behind my shops.
So every morning it's around 6?
Yeah.
Without fail?
Without fail.
7 days a week?
Yes. He is there every morning.
All by himself?
Yeah.
Those who know him quickly take a shine to his kind and gentle soul.
He's the nicest guy ever. Rough looking, but he is the nicest guy.
And
He buys Pall Mall Red 100s every day and a donut.
Warren Barnes is quiet and never bothers anyone. He passes the time reading books, so the locals dubbed him the Reading Man.
But I know he goes to the library a lot as well, because he, like I said, he reads books. Loves to read.
And Warren has a routine, one you could swear by. So when he didn't show up to work on Monday morning, March 1st, his employers at the temp agency were concerned.
what raised concern with you today to report him missing?
Because the place People Ready called to see if I had seen him because he didn't show up for work, and he's never once not shown up for work in the 4 years he's been working for them. So I said no, and that I hadn't seen him since Saturday. I don't know, I just have a really bad feeling because it's unlike him. And that's the weird thing is I said, I'll see you tomorrow. He said, I'll be here, I'll see you tomorrow. And then I didn't even think about it when he wasn't there, really.
Does he ever have anybody sit and read with him or
No.
next to him? Has he mentioned talking to anybody?
No, he doesn't associate with a lot of the transients because he's not like them. He's very intelligent. I don't know why he's homeless. I never really got into why he chose.
I'm sure you understand. Did he ever talk about his family or where he came from?
So he has, I believe, at least one child, but they don't talk.
Okay.
And he said that they talk maybe once every 3 or 4 years on a holiday, but he hasn't spoken
So
to
he probably
them.
didn't go for a visit.
No, he wouldn't have, and if he was, he would have told the People Ready place he wasn't going to be there for work. He was very all about having that so he could afford his place to stay.
With no family that she knows of to call upon, Monique decides to start searching for him on her own. She posts a picture of Warren on her Facebook page asking people to be on the lookout. Meanwhile, 5 miles across town, something odd had been unfolding over the weekend. In the Colorado River, just off the Blue Heron boat launch, a car is partially
He was
submerged
like,
in the water.
really?
The driver, 19-year-old Brian Cohey, had
That
accidentally
means,
driven his 2007
who
Ford
probably
500
hit
into the
that
river
guy.
and was in over his head. Literally. So he called his parents, Brian Sr. and Terry Cohey, to
But just
come to his aid.
think, they wouldn't have
And
never
the police
found
fulfilled
out if the
assistance.
mom didn't go snooping in
The
the
tenor of the
bedroom.
scene just off the
They
Rhineland
wouldn't have never
Parkway is
found
recorded.
out.
Everyone's laughing and joking around, even though it's in the middle of the night and it's dark and freezing.
Yeah, we made him wait till he was almost 18 before he got his driver's license because we didn't want him having any accidents like they do when they're 16 and 17.
Gotcha.
Things.
Is your son right here? Yep. Yeah. Hey, partner, you want to come out and talk to me real quick?
Sure, I mean,
Appreciate it, man.
I'm really cold. Is it okay if it's in here? Because
That's fine. That's fine. I did not know that. No, please stay in the car. All right? Nobody else in the car? Okay.
Just us. I'm the father. That's the mother. That's the son. He
Sounds good.
20 minutes ago. I said, Dad, I parked in the boat ramp and I messed up. I tried to get out of the car and it slid down.
Well, you're not hurt, right? You're okay?
no, just a little cold is all.
Just your pride a little bit.
And probably $7,000.
Okay. All right, man. Do you have your ID with you, driver's license by any chance?
Thankfully,
What were you doing down here, bud?
well, I felt like I needed to get out, and I figured, why not park here and just
relax a little bit?
relax and think. And I parked on the boat ramp, and I thought it would be easy to get out. But when I tried to,
Where did you park exactly? Were you down the hill a little
Oh,
bit?
yeah, just a little bit. And then
When you got back in, go ahead.
when I got back in, I tried to put it in drive, and it didn't go up. So then I tried putting it in low gear, shimmying it a bit. That didn't work.
Were you facing down?
No, I was
Or
facing
were you
facing
this way?
up.
Okay.
You back down?
Yeah. Really good idea. Does that seem like the easiest one? Because of the propulsion of the rear tires, I figured they'd be able to push. Okay. But yeah, then it slid into the river. I was able to get out.
So I was like, it's not a crash. He just
it's like
parked
8
it.
feet out in the water.
He parked it and basically couldn't get it up. It just lost traction, looks like, and then he actually went in it, down in the water. He's not hurt at all. So I'm like, how are you gonna get this car out if possible?
Does he need to stay here?
I'm sorry?
Is he free to go? I'm sure he'd like to go home and get warm.
I'm sure you'd like to get some pants on.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's not a crash. It's
Okay. This is stupid.
so.
All right, I'm going to take him home and then we'll come back here and see if we can figure out what's going on.
Son has no pants on.
After taking Brian home to put some pants on and warm up, the Coheys returned to the scene at the boat ramp around 3 a.m. And this is when things take a turn. The crew recovering Brian Jr.'s sedan from the Colorado River has just spotted something troubling.
Hey, quick question for you. Sure. So the back bumper, I don't know, you can probably see it from here. There's a lot of red on the back of that. Dripping down it all a little bit. Back underneath the license plate. A little area right there. Okay. A lot of red. Looks like blood.
Blood?
Yeah. don't know if did your son hurt himself on his way out at all?
He might have. He just didn't know it. I don't know.
That's why I'm asking. It's a good question. He's at home. Is he make sure he's not got a cut or
He's going to bed.
something out on him somewhere that he's not aware of? Maybe because his adrenaline is a little high. Maybe just have to do like a self check. Make sure he's okay.
Brian, are you okay? They see blood on the back bumper of the vehicle.
Really?
Yeah, did you get hurt?
No.
Are you sure you don't have any injuries?
No, I'm fine. There's blood on it?
We're not sure.
We're not sure. It's a red, something red underneath the license plate.
Similar blood stain.
Oh, no.
Right. But you're not injured. You don't have any cuts?
No, I don't know what would cause the blood or whatever was on the bumper.
But you're not injured?
No, I'm not injured.
Okay. All right. I'll call you back.
Ooh, it's cold.
Is it good? My car good?
No, Brian, they're trying to get it out. They got to rehook and try it again.
They're having trouble getting your car out, buddy. All right.
I'll call you back.
Forgot about the injuries.
Someone has a job. Bye.
I gotta move my car.
Um,
I'm gonna move my car for the driver. Okay.
The car is finally removed from the Colorado River, but the blood is still piquing the interest of everyone on the scene.
What'd they say about us looking in the trunk?
We're good with it.
The officers are unable to get into the trunk. Brian seemingly locked it before driving it into the water. The car is released back into the custody of the Coheys the next morning. Brian Sr. decides to clean his son's car. After all, it had been in the river for hours and badly needed it.
Almost simultaneous. So right away, I popped the hood, unhooked the battery, tried to charge the battery. I started going through the car, backing in all the water. From my house. Did as much as I could yesterday, Saturday. Went back out there this morning. Continued. And I opened the glove box and they were right now. Underwater. Okay. The glove box is full of water. Drop everything right now. Very large knife.
Between the blood on the bumper, the knife, and the stranger's wallet, Brian Sr. had some questions for his son. But first, he makes a phone call to a company whose business card was found in the wallet.
I was getting a point that's why the car's out. The legal I read that. I'll be great. And another one was a street card. I was like, hey, this is a good call. But I got a wild deal with so-and-so's name, and I'm hoping he works really well. Or you something out or whatever. Oh, yeah, my boy, you're the mission. You didn't show up today. Okay, well, I found his wallet. We're going to get him. So here's my name. Here's all my information. If you get hold of him, tell him I found his wallet at my house. Okay, so
like a lot of people would be like, I guess they would be like, you know, wow, you know, you really ratted out your son. But I feel like she did a good thing in a way, because maybe she was afraid. You know, you see a human head in your child's room, first thing you're going to think is like, oh snap, this person is capable of killing. You know, this person is capable of killing. I'm living under the roof of someone who's capable of killing. You know, I could be the next one. I don't even feel comfortable sleeping in my bed tonight. And the fact that he came home that night, she's like, oh no.
Unbeknownst to Brian
you know,
Sr.,
so
his
she
wife
called
Terry,
the
who operates a
police.
child care facility out of
And
Illinois,
then,
is almost simultaneously
you
making a
know,
chilling discovery in her son's room.
and wound up getting her son arrested. Well, they came out and, you know, to talk to him and whatnot. But it's just like, wow. And that kind of prevented the situation. So it's like he could have developed a habit. Once you start doing something that you never did before, it'll continue to go on. You had the feeling, you experienced the feeling, and instead of having closure with it because you kept the head and you kept the hands, obviously there's something wrong there. So it's just like, wow, okay, so this could happen again and again and again. So she stopped him right in his tracks. Right in his tracks, because this was the first person, but I'm pretty sure it was not going to be the last.
Did you have any weapons in his room, or do you guys have any in your house? I don't know. I think that he has a shotgun, but we couldn't before he got to his room.
And he confessed everything, too.
No, it's in my kitchen sink. And there's a
the exact date and everything.
Officers from the Mesa County Sheriff's Office respond to the Cohey residence on South Broadway. At this point, all the children in Terry Cohey's daycare have been picked up by their parents. Outside the home, at the end of their gravel driveway, Brian Sr.
He could have said, I don't know why I'm thinking like this, but he could have said, I found his head. And I found his head and his hands around a lake somewhere, and I just decided to keep it. But eventually, I was going to tell y'all about it.
That fellow who went missing.
You know, eventually, I was going to tell y'all about it. But it's just like I didn't know what to do, so I just kept it in my closet. Like,
I murdered him.
With what?
A knife.
Why would you have done that?
I've always wondered what murder felt like.
Okay. Where did you do that at?
Underneath the bridge.
Which bridge?
The one past
Okay.
near the weird intersection.
Okay. Do you have anything on you? Did a cut, poke, hurt, sticking anything without reaching for nothing? Don't reach for nothing.
My phone and my wallet. That's
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm gonna have you face down and put your hands on top of your head for me real quick.
Dang, when he
lace
was
your fingers for me real
asleep,
quick,
though.
Okay. How do you know this guy?
They told me that was what was in the wallet.
What do you mean that was? No. How'd you come across the gentleman?
I was driving, and I saw a strange shape near the railway. So I parked my car and investigated it, and I found it to be a man sleeping.
Okay. Where's the knife at?
He felt so superior, huh? Like killed him, standing like, what y'all gonna do about it?
So, did that happen when you crashed your car? Or is that totally different?
That's related, but a different event.
Okay. How's it related?
Well, when I killed him, I tried disposing of his body by putting it in the river. But it was too low in the river.
Where's the rest of his body at?
Huh?
Where's the rest of the body at?
What parts?
Body. Where's his body?
Down the river.
I'm surprised they ain't got him in handcuffs right now.
My partner's patrol car for a minute, okay? Not yet. Just sit back there and hang out with me, okay?
They just letting him
200-pound,
walk
6'1"
around
Brian
free.
Covey is cooperative and polite, if not a bit awkward. The female officer from
Even
the
though
Nancy
he
County
being
Sheriff's
honest
Office
about
helps a
everything, they
19-year-old
probably gonna
patrol
put him in
car.
a psych ward just for the simple fact that, you know, they're probably gonna put him in like a psych, they're gonna lock him up in a psychotic
I'm just gonna have you sit in the back here, okay? I'm gonna turn on the air for you in a second.
place for the rest of his life.
You hot blooded or cold blooded kind of guy?
So he's probably not going to go to prison or jail, but he's going to be locked up in a psych ward.
Hop in here. I know you're tall, so it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but like I said, I'll get that air in for you. Sorry about that.
Just because he's sitting there confessing
The
everything.
male officer needs to go inside the house and see for himself if there
And
actually
you
is a
probably know
human head
that.
in the sink, like
You
Terry
know, if
Covey claimed in her
you
911
seem
call.
kind of off in the head and you committed something, you know, they're going to send you to, you know, a psych place. And he probably, like I said, he probably knows that that's what he just like whatever.
Just make sure that guy doesn't record this. Okay.
Had a bad dream about what happened this weekend. She said there's a bag in his closet, and she opened it up, and she called me and said, get over here.
So what would y'all have done? Like, would y'all have talked to the son first and then called the police?
22, 42.
Like, I think I would have talked to him first and then called the police. But then that would have kind of gave you the opportunity. That would have gave him the opportunity of kind of changing her mind about calling the police and them doing something about it. Like often loved ones would do. They will go ahead and no, I'm gonna do this for you. Like playing it safe. Just like I'm gonna hide this. And we gonna get rid of the body and stuff like that because you know you're my child. So she basically prevented that from happening to where he can get to her mind and kind of manipulate the situation to where you're not gonna call the police. So instead, she called the police. So that wouldn't even have, so that wouldn't even happen.
After the officer confirms the head is indeed real, Brian Sr. then recounts the story of the last 24 hours again to law enforcement on scene.
He left Friday night, 8 in the morning. Our phone rings at my house.
I mean, what would you have to investigate now? He confessed it. So it's like, what more do you have to do but to lock him up for what he did? It's like, it's not a complicated situation now. It happened, he confessed. It's like the ones that confess and the truth is real obvious. It's just right there. That's what they want to investigate. You know, but you investigate when you don't know. You know, so what more is there to investigate? Where the body is, and he just told you where he left the body. You know, they make it more of a situation. It doesn't have to be more. You'll just close the case right there. It's easy. But now y'all make it complicated. Y'all got a confession. Y'all got everything. Just lock them up, close the case, boom. Deliver the news to, you know, any family you might have. That's the easiest case that they try to make complicated.
So I went to the car this morning. There's a wad in the car, and I'm like, Brian, who's wad? Oh, I found Mr. Boatman.
Where were you going to the car this morning?
Because it was at my house. We told it to my house.
Oh, so now it's at your house.
It's at my house.
It's not at Scotty's anymore.
No, when I found out I couldn't start it, I called the tow truck company, and they took it to Scotty's this morning.
Oh,
so they just got it. So I was towed there, and I'm like, well, I started pouring out bottles, this, and I'm like, Brian, where's that knife in your car box? Dad, I don't feel safe.
So you touched the knife?
Oh, but the knife was underwater. The car was underwater. I pulled everything out of the car.
And all of that stuff is in your car?
All the stuff's in my house. Okay. Yeah, so as I was pouring it out, I'm like,
The officers update each other on the new information they've gathered while Terry Cohey sobs in the background.
So he had the car at his house this morning. He took out.
It's like he kind of wanted to be caught in a way.
Go ahead.
And sometimes that's when you do go and confess. You know, you would confess to the situation, even though you didn't know the police was going to be called on you. But it's just like, it's right there. It's obvious. Like, you put the head and the hands in a closet.
No, we're fine. We've got him sitting in a patrol car.
For your mom, or you know your family more than anybody. So if your family or your mom was going there and clean up, you know she'll find it. It's like he set himself up anyway. You know, he set himself up for failure. But it may not be failure in his eyes. It's like he confessed everything. He came out, confessed. He came out not trying to hide nothing. It's like sometimes people put themselves in this predicament just because they know something ain't right up there. They know they're going to do something, and they're basically trying to save themselves, save everyone else from them, because they know inside, I feel like, you know, a monster. I don't feel right. You know, I don't feel like I'm safe, you know, in this environment around my family and stuff like that. So therefore, if these people, if y'all find it, y'all find it. I'll confess to the police and they'll put me where I need to be, most likely a psych ward or something like that. So sometimes when it comes to a confession and people, you know, confessing up front, they're only trying to save them. They're trying to save other people from them because they know now what they're capable of. So he could have set himself up just for this reason.
Thank you. Okay.
Just focus on
of course, before he went and did that, he could have went and talked to like a therapist, and like you can go and admit yourself to the hospital. Like you can go admit yourself, tell them what's going on, and they will admit you. And then you're in a psych ward to where you have no access outside, and you know you kind of getting right in the head to where you know. This is if you care enough about your life, but honestly, obviously, he didn't care that much about his life because he just wanted to. My phone just went out. He didn't care enough about his life because he didn't try to help the situation. He more so just wanted to end it right then and there instead of ending his own life, taking his own life. He went and took his life in another way by, you know, doing this. So it's like kind of taking your life not physically, but taking your life from freedom. You know, the freedom to do this again, the freedom of having access to anybody that you know you could hurt.
On the drive over,
or you
Brian
could take their life, or like if you got this, you know, inside you.
It is 2:32.
You feel this inside you, and it's just like, you know, you took your life in a whole nother way, you know, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people would take their lives, but he took his life in a different.
Okay. Like right there under the bridge, or
this side of the
she is freaked out. She's freaked out.
Okay. So quick. You said it was the bridge here, right by the gate. From what he's saying, it sounds like overpass, but
a patrol car is sent to inspect the area of the underpass that Brian stated was the crime scene. There, officers are quickly able to confirm he was telling the truth.
It's right here. Yeah, because there's an arm. Hey. There's an arm, there's another arm. There's another one.
Really? I caught that. He said it's not me in that car, you know. What is that supposed to mean? Ain't that the dad? He's talking about it's not me in that car, you know. Like you kind of grateful. What? What is that? What is that supposed to mean?
Right, here's a leg. Well, it could be the upper arm or a leg.
Well, there's three. There, and there.
Down there, I mean.
Patrol guy to yellow tape it and then
like you capable of the same thing or something? Like what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I would think so.
It's not me in that car, you know.
You guys, we can just ask for a.
I'm switching to primary. Hold on.
I would question that.
But if we can get the lab out here, that would be
But
the best
people
thing.
be so
Yeah, get
already
forensics out here.
busy in their mind,
After
they
the
can't even
8-minute drive to
catch
the
what
sheriff's
people
office is
saying.
complete,
Like, you could
the
have caught
deputy
that right
escorts
there.
Brian
Like,
June into
what?
the interrogation room.
What you said? What you mean by that? Like, I would have said, I would have asked her, like, hold on, what you mean by that? You know?
Let me call parents, let them know to park here, and then we'll have someone in my car.
They need with the police officers and stuff, they should have a profiler, kind of like CS. I think it's CSI or something like that. They should have a profiler with them because that profiler caught that. You know, and now I'm about to investigate you. You just gave me something to look into. Like, what you mean? Was this a setup? And that could have been another thing. It could have been a setup. The fact that his dad just said it's not me in that car, you know, he could have been covering for the dad. Like if y'all wanna investigate, y'all investigate that. You know? He could have been covering for the dad for the simple fact that he said it's not me in there, you know? Like that actually means a lot. He basically just told himself right there. I would definitely look into him because it might not be the son. And the fact that the son came out there all boldly and confessed, it could have been the dad that did that and planted it on his son and talked to his son to where, or he didn't probably even have to talk to his son. His son is scared of him to the point where he's going to do anything, you know, he's going to take the blame. See, that just caught my attention right there. Sometimes you just got to pay attention to what people say. It's not more so about what's obvious, but also, you know, what they putting out there for you to catch too. That would caught me like, hold up, what you talking about?
Hard left, right here. All right. So have a seat, and we'll be with you in a moment, okay? Thanks, Brian.
Wow.
The parents arrived just a couple of minutes after their son.
Just follow me all the way down. We're gonna have you guys have a seat in here, and we'll be with you.
In the interview,
I feel like that. Now I'm kind of like, I'm thinking more about it.
For the thrill of it. The
Because
detective
it might not be the
everyone's
son.
mind at this point.
They might do
What would
have,
drive
they
this seemingly
may
non-violent teenager to murder?
have something actually to investigate. It's easy to plant something on your kid because you know they too afraid to admit. I mean, it's they too afraid of you to get in trouble. I mean, to tell the truth. You know. That can go so many ways. That can go wrong in so many ways. And maybe he was just saving himself away from his family. You know? Getting a confession is easy. But getting the truth, that's where you gotta do that's where you gotta do more work. And that's why they're so easy to go ahead and get the confession. That's why it's, you know, they take the confession. But at the same time, the more that, when I was just like, what is there more to research? Maybe they was thinking more about it.
The detective wants to know more about the medications Brian is on, and if he's actually taking them.
And he said he's not taking his medication.
The dad called me. Hold up. What you talking about?
Part-time job. Okay. And he takes sertraline, which is an anti-anxiety, anxiety. And to the best of your knowledge, is he actually taking them? Like, do you watch him take them? I don't watch him take them because I have to watch that, and every night at 10 p.m. I say, Brian, take your medicine. And he says, I know, I am. And as I've looked at his pill container, and it's going, you know, seems to be going down. So I do what about alcohol or any other recreation drugs? Okay, sounds good. When you talked about the school stuff and some of the issues, what were the issues that they were having that made that kid not feel safe? He would make jokes that were not appropriate. He got suspended a few times, like, for behavior that wasn't acceptable. Like, this one girl that he knows very well, he knows that she has a lot of issues, and that loud noises frighten her. And so, you know, one of his first steps is when he people to her in the hallway, and clapped really loud next to her, knowing that it would put her in a panic, and she cried, and you're like, yep, nope, it's gonna happen. And you knew that was because Brian did him. And he got suspended for prohibited use of a weapon, but it was, there was another boy who brought in nunchucks to school on the school bus. Brian was like, wow, cool, and I think this was in 11th grade. And so Brian was like, I'm trying to give him some candy because he didn't get some.
He's not in cuffs because they think he's crazy. They don't put you in cuffs when they think you kind of psychotic or not wrong in the mind, not right in the mind. They won't put you in cuffs. And that's how you know you're probably not going to jail. You're just going to a psych ward for however long they're going to lock you up.
And his backpack was, I don't know if it was in his backpack or in his jacket, so some differentiation.
The fact that he cut this person up and stuff, it might be for like.
Called him and they said, what's that, Brian? And he was like,
most likely.
And so, although he was like, we have a prohibited weapon on school grounds, and I'm like, okay, what about the other kids?
Something ain't right with that
situation. Behavior issues that Brian has. And I'm like, oh, so you're punishing Brian because he has behavior issues. I see. So, Brian went through.
Like I said, his dad gave me something to think about.
The line of questioning pivots to Brian's behaviors and interests.
Oh, God. Just a minute. It was going on.
Violent behavior, weird behavior, like it's Brian was weird. I mean, he's always, he's either ADHD and struggling with social thinking and social behavior and learning and, it's always a challenge with Brian. But not violent behavior towards you and your husband. What about other kids in the neighborhood? But he didn't really, he had a couple of friends that he tried to do since elementary. But, he had a morbid sense of humor and would make jokes and he's not funny. He goes, yeah, I didn't know. You just don't get my sense of humor, but
he looked older than that picture that they showed.
Like the flat face.
He didn't even look like that person.
What about any
yeah, they're gonna put him on
ADHD. A lot of preparation on.
Oh, he's in middle school. That's why. Yeah, he ain't going for life. He's just gonna be. Yeah, they medicate him.
Having your job. And so I had
I thought he was cold. So, hold on, he in middle school at 18. 18.
Let's channel that curiosity into something positive that you can affect a good change in the world. And he's like, yeah, that's my plan, Mom. He's I'm not going to say always had a fascination. A few years. And is it like shows that he watches or like tries to do things to create a scene, you know what I mean? Like, whether it's like animal stuff or nothing. No, he loves the dogs. I mean, he's very affectionate with our animals. And, he would watch, like just last week he watched Silence of the Lambs. But I was like, well, he's 19, Probably all watch it. I watched it. It doesn't make me a serial killer. Is there anything else about Brian or the last couple of weeks? He's always, sometimes he's affectionate, and every night when I say, I love you, Bugs, and he says, I love you too, Mom, and he gives me a hug, and, he's at work when he's supposed to be at work, he's never,
oh, so he was taking medicine, he was diagnosed with ADHD when he was in middle school.
That was a problem, but I was like,
So she's just telling him about his past life experiences that could be related to his behavior.
Like on the spectrum of his autism stuff, did they kind of give you a
he's still on his ADHD.
We think maybe based on some behaviors. So he was high functioning, that he did the IQ test. Well,
and then if you think about it, her son would be an easy, would be easy to plant anything on. I really don't think I don't think her son did it. That's the thing about people. They will put you in a situation where they will use you. Just because you take medicine, they will use you to make it seem like you're crazy. So anything that they do, they will use you as a cover-up. So anything that they do, will fall on you just because you got all these diagnoses that you're crazy and this and that. Honestly, her husband could have did it. She probably know that her husband probably did it, and they planning on a son because he's more easy to take the fall. You know, because he has all these things wrong with him, and most likely they know that he won't get the same punishment as anybody else because for one, he's young. He's 18, but that's adult, like he's an adult, so he get charged as an adult. But they know his fall will go into a mental hospital, you know, a psych ward or something like that. So they probably all planted this. You know, that's what I'm getting. That's what this is giving. Like, that's how I feel. People, it's so easy for people to plant stuff on other people because they have some type of mental disorder or they take medications. So it's easy for this person to take the fall for what you're doing because you're in the right mind. So it's like they can think about all of this, plant it on him, and he take the fall, and he's vulnerable. Like, he's at a point where
Brian
he's
Sr. is
vulnerable.
dumbfounded by the situation.
You know,
he's
I
found
have
himself in.
experience with ADHD, psychosis, and postpartum and all this other stuff because I used to do it. I used to take medicine. But it's like,
But he quickly realizes that this is not an accurate picture of his
he's
son.
taking the fall for their behavior because he's in a position where it won't be as bad. But I feel like, honestly, in my opinion, I think it was the father. I think it was the father.
I know you had some issues in school, but tell me
And
about
when you're in that type of mindset to where I brought up the fact that, you know, I used to take medicine like 2 years ago about from, you know, those ADHD and those type of diagnosis because it's just like you're vulnerable to the situation. You will allow anybody to, you know, you will take the fall for them type of people because you got a good heart. You know, people like this has a good heart. That's why it's kind of hard for me to believe that he actually did that. I don't think he did it because, for one, being on all these medications is just like, you know, you could seem like you would do it, and that's why I feel like people portray people on medication as this crazy person that's capable of doing anything. But honestly, the medication is just like this. That's what medication does to you. Medication is like this. Medication is holding you up. Even if you're not in a psych where you're not feeling like you're locked up when your hands is tied, that medication is tying your hands from doing anything. That's why they prescribe you this medicine because it ties your hand from doing what they don't know you're capable of, but you may be capable of. But it's like tying your mind. It's like tying your hands. That's what it is. And I honestly, in my opinion, I don't think this guy did it. The fact that he's on all these medications for ADHD and psychosis, I don't think he did it. I think the father did it. I really do. Somebody in that household did it, and they're playing and acting it out because they already scripted it. It's like they scripted it and they pinned it all on him. I know he did not do it. If he's on medication and stuff like that, that's the answer right there. He did not do it. He didn't do it.